Yo guys, what is up? My name is Mike, and today we're going to be talking about coming out. In this video, we're going to talk about everything from how I grew up to how my teachers reacted to me coming out in high school. One important thing about my story is that I grew up with a twin brother. This meant that if he got a truck, I got a truck. If I got a doll, he got a doll. There was always that balance of, oh, I got to wear girls' clothes, and then I got to wear boys' clothes. Don't get me wrong, I was the kid in all pink. Everything had to match, but I did have times where I would complain because I wanted to wear sweatpants. The first time I ever had a hunch that I was trans was, I was about 9 or 10, and I was watching a YouTube video about a guy who just transitioned, and it blew my mind that someone who, presented themselves as female and was so feminine could all of a sudden just become so masculine. This was crazy to me because when I was 9 and 10, the first thing I thought about when I, heard transgender was your stereotypical drag queen. The first time I ever told anybody that I thought I was trans was 7th grade. I came out the beginning of my senior year of high school. My friends were amazing. They were supportive, always talking me through everything, helping me deal with anything that I had trouble with. Aside from my friends, the kids at school, it was pretty quiet. No one really said anything. When my social media started to change, that's when people started to notice it more and people started asking questions. No one was ever really rude. It was just people were confused and didn't really know what to say. As far as family goes, everyone was pretty supportive. The only thing was sometimes I took my family wanting to make sure that I was sure that this was what I wanted as people being negative. The one thing that surprised me was that my smaller cousins around, I think as little as 4 to 12, asked a lot of questions. And I was fine answering them. I think that young kids should be educated about this topic, especially since it's become such a huge thing. Going further into family and talking about my parents, it wasn't easy for them. It still isn't. I've been in therapy most of my life, but it wasn't till I had came out to them that I actually went to therapy specifically for gender questioning. I came out to my girlfriend before I came out to my parents. My girlfriend was pretty supportive. Although she considered herself a lesbian, she wanted to figure things out. After I told her, she kind of convinced me to tell my parents just so that I would be happier. There was a week of pure joy after telling my parents, and then soon that just led to me realizing that this was going to be 4 times harder than I thought it would be. I told them on a bus ride on my way to Regis College. I sat in the back, in the seat that's a single, and I just started crying, and I had the text all sent out, and I sent it, and my mom replied back, and she said, I don't remember specifically what she said. She said something like, I know, it's okay, I love you. But she didn't understand the full concept of transgender, so there was this huge miscommunication. Between therapy sessions and doctor's appointments, me and my family, my parents, have managed to get me on a low dose of testosterone just so the transition is smoother. This is mainly because I suffer from a lot of mental issues, and putting a substance that's supposed to make me more aggressive just didn't seem like the best idea to them. The last thing I'm going to talk about is teachers. It came to my attention that I should probably talk to my teachers individually, so I did that with some of them. There was one teacher that I actually changed my name on a test thinking that it would click, but it didn't, and he was yelling it in class, and it became this huge scene, which was so embarrassing. But he ended up coming up to me after in the hallway and apologizing and saying, oh, like, why didn't you just tell me beforehand? And I said, you know, it's not a big deal. And he said, well, you deserve to be what you want to be called. And I was just, that's when I was like, oh, well, you know, if this older guy can, you know, be open-minded about the situation in this Catholic school, then why can't anyone else? So that's when I started going to more teachers. One actually came up to me and was like, oh, well, why didn't you tell me? And I was just like everyone was so casual about it, but I was just nervous. So this is just a little bit about me coming out and how the process was for me. If you like this video, thumbs up, subscribe, comment. See you in the next video.